All right, welcome to the Breck Advisory, where Dean and I are talking about the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA. A number of cryptocurrencies seem to be going down in value over the last week or so. And we're just going to ask the question, is this good for crypto? And I don't know, I have some opinions on it. And Dean's looking like he has some charts that he's working on over there. So, Dean, I'm going to ask you the question today. Is the price of all these cryptos going down? Is it good for crypto or not?
Okay, well, yeah, let me share my screen here and take a look at what the charts are showing. What we have here is the total market chart. This is all the money in all the cryptos combined. And it shows things really clearly that some individual coin charts don't show. And the most important thing we see here is this 30-day pattern I've identified that seems really obvious, but I haven't seen anyone else on the internet talking about it. So if you find this information useful, you might want to subscribe to this channel, because certainly Gary and I have used this information to our benefit so far. What I've done is I've marked off every low point throughout this chart, and it correlates to almost perfectly 30 days for each next low point. And it has been predictive, very predictive, in fact, because I called this one as the next low point, not like a lower low or a higher low, but the next low point of value if somebody wanted to get in at that time. You know, we called that way back there, and to the day it actually hit that low there perfectly. So what we're looking at now is in the next, actually what I like to do is I like to do this, because then it really just makes it clear how this is working. So what we're doing now is we're coming to the next 30-day point here. And a lot of people have been wondering, you know, is this level going to hold here? In Bitcoin, it correlates to around 46,000. And we see prices moving lower, and people kind of getting worried because it's moving lower. But if we look at this chart, it's practically pre-programmed into this chart, in that it is, unless this pattern breaks, but if this pattern holds, it's very likely to hit a lower low somewhere around this date and time, and possibly even the exact level we can't say, but it's likely to hit a lower low. And the date we have here, actually I need to move my chart over a little bit. The date we have here, it's going to be, according to this pattern, the 16th or the 17th, somewhere around there. According to this pattern, it will hit a lower low. And I guess the point is, Gary, that if it does that, it might seem scary and people might want to freak out, but it's really just moving along to this pattern, nothing really unusual. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. What do you think about that chart pattern?
Dean, honestly, I think that thousands and thousands of people should be looking at this right now across the internet and sharing with all their friends. And the reason why is that I watch tons of videos and read a ton of information on crypto. I haven't seen anyone come up with this pattern yet. And it either means that you're a complete genius, or it means it might be the opposite. But I have a feeling you're more of a genius, because I wouldn't be hanging out with you if you weren't. But this chart pattern has proven, at least over this time period, over every 30 days or so, to correct, right? So we have this, we see a peak. It's like a rainbow. You get to the peak in the middle of the month, and then you see it fall off. And right now, it's like clockwork. It's doing exactly. In fact, it's a little bit ahead of schedule, but it is falling off, and it's falling off rather precipitously. Now, you know, if you've been following Bitcoin and the price of crypto over the last, I don't know, 7 days, we had a peak. And now we're starting to see that decline, and it was a rapid decline. It's kind of settling in, but we've watched it inch down from these different ranges where it was trading at, you know, 50 to 53,000, then 48 to 50,000, then 46 to 48,000. And now we're in that 44 to 46,000 range. And based on what you're telling me here with your 30-day thing, it looks like we could go down even further, My guess is anywhere from, well, it's going down in $2,000 increments. So I think the next increment will be 42 to 44. Where it goes from there, I have no idea, but it also could go straight back up. But I have a feeling that it's going to happen right around day 30 that it starts changing its course. Because as you know, people and patterns are predictable. And you have really caught on to something here that looks like a pattern that has proven itself out for how many months now? 7 months in a row? So I don't
Uh,
know.
yeah, it's like 8 or 9 months actually. If you keep going all the way back, it's not always precise to the 30 days, but within a day or two, it's really pretty amazing.
Yeah, so
Uh,
my money's on buying up crypto. I wouldn't be selling right now. If I owned a bunch of crypto, if I owned, I would actually be looking at increasing my position as this dip happens because I don't um, I don't believe that the market is going to crash. I mean, go to zero, I guess is what I'm looking at. And anything that you buy that's of value. Just last week, if you bought in the high 40s, you were thinking you were doing great. This week, if you buy in the low 40s, you would be thinking you're doing great. And maybe next week the market will rebound. And you, as you said, it's about the 16th or the 17th, just a few days away, that the market, if your pattern holds true, will begin to trend back up. So do you want to look like a genius, just like Dean here, or do you want to continue to follow all the lemmings that are running around following the Reddit news right now? I think I'm going to follow Dean's advice personally. And again, this isn't advice. This isn't anything but just for fun and a little bit of a pattern that we discovered, but it's a pattern you cannot deny. So if I have to go
well, I
back and
think
it's
I think what's interesting is to use a pattern like this where it really comes in handy is when we had this really deep downward spike here, a lot of people were hoping that it was going to spike and then just, springboard to the moon. I never really had any consideration that that was going to happen. And so far, I've been proven right that this period of lows was not over with just this spike. On the other hand, I would be pretty confident buying the lows down in this area because again, if the pattern holds up, well, what happens next? It's as basically what you referred to, but it's going to likely if the pattern holds, move up from this area. So I'm really actually not scared by the recent downward trend and what we're seeing. It's moving according to plan, and I think overall, I say this is good for crypto. It's okay to have these pullbacks. This is how we move forward, and big picture still looks good. What do you think, Gare?
I'm putting my thumbs up. I think the big picture is still intact. I like the idea that I can buy crypto at a cheaper price and I can buy it than just a week ago. I mean, I was considering buying it in the 50 range, but when I looked at this chart, I'm like, forget it. I'm going to see how this thing plays out over the next couple of weeks. And sure enough, if I would have bought, I would have been kicking myself today. So I appreciate it. And yes, this is definitely good for crypto. Dean, I think you're good for crypto. At
Okay,
least
hey,
this
thanks,
chart
man.
is good for crypto.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So everyone, if you found this information useful, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to stay tuned for further videos following up on this type of charts and information, remember to subscribe so you'll catch those videos in the future. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. And nice talking to you, Gary.
Sounds great. Thank you, Dean. We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.